Well, hello, everyone. I'm Paula, and welcome to Off the Clock. This is the show where job titles take a break and real conversations steal the spotlight. No labels, no LinkedIn perfect answers, just real conversations. And quick thing before we get started, if you enjoy real conversations like this one, make sure to subscribe to my channel, give this video a like, share it with someone that you think you should be watching with you. This will really help me reach more people. So I really appreciate it. Unfortunately, that's how these platforms work. So I depend on your support. And if you're joining us live, please say hi in the chat. We'll be watching your comments. We love interactions, so don't be shy. And my next guest is already on the backstage. She is someone who's been part of my journey from the very beginning. She's a founder, a CEO, Drive Innovation Hospitality. Through her work with her companies, she's helping hotels rethink operations and efficiency. So, everybody, please help me welcome to the stage Lana. Hello, Lana.
Hi, hello. Nice to be back.
Yeah, and this time on video, right? Because the first time was just emails because I was too scared.
Yeah. How are you, Paulo?
I'm very good, and thank you so much for having the time to talk with me and having this chat. I'm looking forward to hear more about your career, your life. Although I think I know a little bit, but I'm pretty sure I'm gonna find out new things today.
Yeah, and thank
So
you for having me as well. It's a pleasure. Yeah, thank you.
it's always good to talk to you, Lana, because you are really inspiring. We're gonna talk more about this, but being a woman in hospitality and the C-level, founder, CEO, all this stuff. I will ask you, but it can be tough, I can imagine. But before we go there, I want to go back actually, Lana, to where it all started, because you reinvented yourself a few times in your life. Reading your bio, from law to architecture, to hospitality, across different countries, cultures. Your life is definitely not bored, boring. It's definitely not boring.
Absolutely.
Uh, but I wonder, after doing this one time after the other, was there a moment where starting over felt especially difficult? Was there a time that you said, okay, I have to settle, this is too much? Or no, this keeps going, like until today, you want to, continue reinventing yourself?
I think I never stop, honestly.
Yeah.
And I don't even feel that I have to. And I passed several stages. Now, even my kids are grown up, they live their life. And me and my husband Alex, we are completely free now, and we are just traveling. And I like to travel, and not just travel, I like to live in different places. So, no, I will not stop, I think. And there are
But
so many opportunities. So, why to stop?
but you have like a base, like you have a home, like say, like in the traditional way
No,
of home. You do
no,
have it, no, you don't, or you just,
no.
oh, wow.
We agreed with my husband that there are nothing that will be like keeping us somewhere, and we just travel, we just rent, we feel excited, and just we lived 3 years in Massachusetts, in Boston. Now we're 1 year in May, will be like in Washington DC, and now we're moving again. We want to go to South part, so we have our suitcase, our iPad,
Wow.
whatever we have it, and we just move.
That's really really cool. And talking about moving still, but now in career uh, aspect of your life, you started in law, and then you go to architecture. Like, what? How was this transition? What happens? Like, do you get? I'm gonna say, like, from my perspective, because I changed careers a few times, three times to be fair. One that I was one I'm a psychologist, and
Mhm.
actually, but then I thought it wasn't for me. I didn't feel like I didn't feel the same satisfaction. It kind of got lost. So then I went to hospitality, but hotels. So no front desk and all. Then I was like, I don't want to do this all my life. Like no weekends, no, all this stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like no, and now I'm marketing. So what different reasons for you is like was also like that, like different reasons why you change, or do you have like something like I don't know? I hear people saying that they get bored or they don't see like a future. What drives you to change so much in career?
Okay, I'll try to be short
Yeah.
because so many reasons it was behind. No, originally, yeah, my first education, my first career, I started as a lawyer, and that was very interesting. I like it. There are nothing that disappoint me. But as I got married, I had kids. We moved from one country to another, and when I moved from Soviet Union slash Russia,
Mhm.
yeah, my education nobody needed anywhere except Russia. So I was looking around and I was thinking, what can I do? And before, in my earlier life, I built my own small house. Yeah, so I had this intention to build something. And when we moved to Cyprus, actually, very nice country, small island, family oriented. I love it. We lived there, been living there for 6 years.
Oh.
My kids grew up there, and when I went there, I thought, why not to change, and do what I liked. And I start to think about architecture, and I was happy that I could do that.
Yeah.
And yeah, I did my bachelor's there, and of course that was something new. And the biggest, probably, and the best part of my development was that when you are a lawyer, you have to speak
Hmm.
to, deliver your position,
Yeah.
anything what you want to argue, and etc. So it's all through the speech, logic speech. When I went to the architecture, and I was doing my first presentation, I remember that time, Adonis, my favorite professor, he said, Lana, you should be silent. Only your work has to be presented and show what are you thinking.
Oh, so
And
different.
and at that time, I was mature, I was 30 plus, I was not like 18 years old, 20
Yeah.
years old student. It was very hard for me to switch. And
Yeah.
I prepared my speech that I will be telling what is this. And it was based on Alice in Wonderland, like abstract project. And I looked at it, I said, okay, I shouldn't speak then. I had to do something else. And that was a click, when you have to visualize everything what you think. And I think that was the best moment when I changed entirely, and that took time. Not to tell that I had to learn math and physics, which was far from me, and like
Wow.
15 years after my school, but I did it, proudly did it.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
then, when we moved from Cyprus, we lived a little bit in UK, in London.
Mm.
From London, my husband came to United States. We were comparing where to be, and we realized that United States fit better for our children' future as well.
Yeah.
And business-wise, also was entrance easier for us. Still, it's immigrants' country, whatever people say, but still, when you come to United States, you understand like difference.
Yeah.
And it's a pretty big country, you feel this freedom, like, yeah. And yeah, we decided to move from UK to United States. And in United States, it's very hard to pursue architecture career. And I was
Oh,
already 40 something, like around 8 years to have license. And I said, no, that is
wow.
too hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Alex quickly switched me to his business because he's in hospitality his entire life.
Okay.
And you remember my first challenge was 135 rooms hotel. I
Wow.
to
Wow.
manage. That was,
Wow.
yeah. Yeah, so
Oh,
it's
so it's his fault that you're in hospitality in a sense. And you mentioned that you wanted to build something when you're talking about your house and
yeah.
before. but I'm gonna link this because now you build solutions, right? So you already told me how you start. You start talking actually, how you start in hospitality. But how did this journey to building solutions to hospitality actually start?
Hmm. First of all, I wanted to tell you that even sometime when I speak with my children, they said, "Oh, we don't need this. Why we should learn this? Why we should pass this?" I wanted to tell you one funny story. My one of my teacher in Cyprus, we learn on metrics like kilometers, like kilograms. You know, in United States it's different, like pounds,
Yeah,
feet, etc. And it's not.
I still don't know how to convert
And
things like.
once I said that, hey, why did you put us in these, metrics? Why we should keep like, and said, Lana, you never know where you end up. When I end up here in the United States, that was kind of small things which convinced me that nothing happened by accident, in this life.
That's true.
And so when I came to the hospitality, and when I had all this background being a lawyer and being convincing and have this architecture background, little bit, not too much, but still 3 years learning and after practicing a little bit, so then it gave me very good foundation to understand how to build something that can be used by another people, by another team, And when we came to the understanding that hospitality can provide good team, like can organize in hospitality, can organize a good team, but still this team needs a tool, And of course, everything comes in most of the time from the personal needs, like when you need something. And we move forward with developing software for ourselves, as I told you before. And slowly our family stage came to the point that we want to be free and we want to have some business, and where me and Alex were mature enough to share our knowledge. And from there, we decided that we will sell all our assets and we will be kind of nomad, travel around, share our knowledge, and develop the proper tool which will help to hospitality team,
Yeah, it's such very interesting. You have a very interesting life, to say the least, and very interesting perspective that you have in life in general from things you're saying, and yeah. So then you start this journey with helping people, helping teams, as you said. They need to have the right tools, and you're pretty much now completely focused, or almost completely focused, I don't know, you tell me, when the AI, you have Una now. I wonder, Lana, what frustrates you most about how the industry talks about AI today, since we're talking about helping people, helping teams in the hospitality?
That is a very good question. I would like to split them in two parts. First, probably it's what I think people who is not working on an everyday basis with AI, they think it's kind of magic. It's just someone creates something, you just take it and it starts to do whatever you want, But when someone try a little bit work around and got positive, negative outcome, something, was satisfied, someone not. So then, of course, the view is changing. But what I think it's a lot of vendors, trying their best. Some of them taking easier parts, some of more difficult. It's also depend on the strategy. But I believe that the main responsibility lies on the team who wants to implement and work with AI. Then you have to understand how to work and how to, how you can trust. And at this moment, unfortunately, I don't see that hospitality trust in AI. They always put under the doubts, And what I don't like also that for some reason there is a myth that it substitutes human. No, It cannot.
Yeah.
It just cannot, and when I have to explain and tell, and I can bring you like one story. I had a conversation recently with one person who is utilizing AI, and he said that I have a guest who is returning guest and etc. And I like how he put it that when guest knows, let's say, that this company, this property has on back end AI, they communicate at any time. They don't think that they will wake up person when they need something, even it's the middle of the night, Sometimes we have this opposite thinking that people, or your guest, let's say, will not like that human is not answering, but it's all depend. So when vendors present AI, I think it's our responsibility to put it in a way that AI, it's a team member. Yeah. AI, it's something who can help human in both sides, guest side and service supplier as well. And I think it's very important for us to be knowledgeable enough, patient, and put this on the table so users and guests who will be utilizing this service will be confident that it's good quality, it's based on the good architecture, good logic, good policies, and all these will help in general in industry. I think we have to work hard to put it in this way, not just taking like a toy magic tool or something. It's like when you hire human, you are not expecting that you hire someone and start to work immediately. You have to put effort, and create this environment. The same with digital employee, and I'm joking that they need also some attention, some love, and take care.
No, and while you were talking, I have to say I was feeling a little bit guilty because I am like that, because since it's technology, I'm talking about like ChatGPT, for example, and when it doesn't work, like it doesn't really follow the instruction or whatever I want to do, I get really frustrated. 'Cause I would have more empathy with a human, but with technology, since I have to say I am one of those people, although I am learning more and accepting that AI is something that it is something that needs to learn as well. It's not like you're saying, it's not ready and it's not magic. But I think at least I'm going to talk about myself. In my imagination, my science fiction imagination, it would be something that I would use it and it would be perfect from the start. And maybe this is, I think, one of the biggest myths about AI and hospitality. Not sure if you see more reasons of you mentioned that we don't trust maybe the technology. And I think also hospitality and hotels specifically, they also struggle to how to blend human and AI. Are you seeing any progress in that sense? People, we go to events or we hear events and it's AI. It's all the time. But do you actually see, since you are there and you're doing and you're creating solutions, do you actually see that this is happening? Like,
yeah, and I just want to go back a little bit to your first comment that you feel kind of guilty. I wanted to tell you when you don't get a result, what you're expecting, I think it's also important to understand what result you were expecting and what effort you put it there. Because if you imagine, I don't know, teacher in the college, when you come and ask, and you don't get the result, and you will be kind of offended to come second and third time, But imagine this AI answers with you and it doesn't judge you, So you have to appreciate this freedom as well.
True.
And I can tell you the same goes to the real situation. Again, I'm coming back to this kind of real story when some of the guests was in hotel had a chance to speak with the manager and said, I like that nobody judge me. I can call 100 times, ask the same stupid question, sorry my language, and your assistant answer anytime, So if we flip a little bit, and when we say, hey, this chat GPT doesn't answer me what I want, but you come back and you again ask, and you again ask, and there are no judgment. How smart are you asking, in a way that you are doing, That is also something which I think it's underestimated, that we have this unique situation now, to ask anything we want and to get what we want finally, because we rephrase and do something. So it's kind of one aspect. And coming back to your main question, it's about if I see the improvement, if situation is changing. Yes, I see, and I can tell you what was 6 months ago and what conversation we see now in LinkedIn as well. It's completely different. And the only and even though this difference when we talk about AI assistant, AI chatbot, now even we make difference AI employee. Now people start to learn what is AI employee, because it's completely different set. It's not just a technical part of the solution. This is really humanizing and going beyond just being assistant. And that is important to see from all angles. And I also like that on LinkedIn, especially in hospitality field, that people start to ask realistic question, because they already got this experience trying these quick tools which you can create it, like add some prompt to the cloud and it will answer, it will do something for you. So finally people start to feel the power, and now it's creating I think pattern where people understand what they want. And when you understand what you want, then you start to look for that solution. And yes, I think hospitality moves, even though some people say that it's slow, but I think no, who is pretty, curious person will find what they look for.
That's refreshing to hear. And talking a little bit more specific about Una, that you already mentioned, the digital employee that you called. What has surprised you most since launching Una? Was there something that you was not maybe counting that would happen, or something that you hear that maybe it surprised you in any way, good or bad?
I can tell you it surprises us almost every day, because when we think about roles which Una responsible for, it depends, of course, on the business. Sometimes it's short-term rental, long-term rental, sometimes it's hotel. And as I mentioned, when people realize that it's not a human, they become very open. And time to time we track the conversation, because we have to analyze, we have to see bigger picture. And when you go through the transcript, I can tell you, you can hear a very interesting way of people utilizing the AI. One of the funniest story was like when parents, they were staying in hotel, and finally dad calls and said, hey, can you just entertain our kids and read some books for them?
Oh, that's so cool. I love that.
You know what? Una was because it's not in the prompt. You cannot predict such a question. You just rely on her idea how smart she can be. And her answer was amazing. She said, unfortunately, I am busy. I can't right now. And it's not my responsibility. But I can tell you where is the kids museum, where can you buy the books. And also I can check for you whether if you can go and walk with your kids or probably organize something better.
Wow, that's awesome. She couldn't do it, but she gave options, and which is
another funniest story. One person was booking a room and he was like telling, hey, it will be light flight, it will be ta 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 tam something, and I need this and this and this. So finally Una find the room for him, said that it's possible to do late check-in, it's not a problem, we take care, we can even organize a transfer for you. And lastly he said, but you know what, I don't have money.
Oh no. What you said then? What you
And
said?
what she said, you know what she said? I said, don't worry, this situation happened, you are not alone here, I can find for you shelter.
Oh my God. That's really funny.
You know, that is like, yeah, I think
Yeah.
we've grown really smart digital employee, and we're enjoying. This is most important part, that we're enjoying, and we like, and every day we open something new, and it makes us confident that it trustable, you know. And when you do it in a proper way, and when you build these boundaries, and when you give humanity allowance as well, that is important.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's
I,
like, sorry, it's like you grow your kids, you know, it's like you kindergarten, and after you go to school, high school, college, and now you see it's working.
no, I love that. I love hearing you about AI technology and all that stuff. But Lana, I want to also cover another aspect of your life, which I mentioned in the beginning. You were a female founder and CEO. I have to at least touch this question because I am curious for obvious reasons. Have you ever felt as a founder and CEO? Have you ever felt the need to prove yourself more in this space? Do you feel it's still a thing that happens, that
That
women
female
have
and
to?
male, you mean?
Sorry.
Female and male difference, like when
Yeah,
you.
yeah. When you are in a meeting or in a negotiation or whatever situation it is, do you feel like to have, or even with the, I don't think it happens to you specifically, but some CEOs have to prove themselves more for the team as well. Like, do you feel like you have to prove yourself more than you would if you were a man? Maybe wouldn't, or this is not something that bothers you in a way.
I can tell you, and again, I split in two parts. First of all, I am a lawyer from the very beginning. It doesn't change inside of me. So I used to go to the court. I used to
Yeah.
know what is opponent. I know my strong part.
You know how to defend yourself for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I know these old games, and how sometimes you do two steps back after jump another hundreds forward. Probably all these, it's like familiar. And I think what is good. I always feel myself confident, and what is good, I never shame to say, "Hey, I don't know this, and please explain me." And it doesn't matter if it's a man in front of me, woman, if it's a kid, or older people, it doesn't matter. I think it's important when you don't know, ask, and then you don't have this, like you're a woman and you don't know something. It doesn't matter. Man also doesn't know everything, yeah. And I also want to tell that when you take responsibility, I think it's very important to listen your team and have team who is actually smarter than you sometime more people smarter around you, because they create something. And when you have this confidence, and when you understand that you are good in something and another person good in something else, then you build a good team. And I never put like female, male. I think we're different, of course, and I feel myself that I'm very strong in doing things and making real. But when it comes to the strategy, still I believe that men, they're stronger. They're not so. They don't have so much details in their mind when they think they're seeing bigger picture. Probably in general, no underestimate like abilities of the human, but still, when you have in your team strong man supports, I think it's the best combination. And I just wanted to finish this answer with one funny question from my family. My son, he was like probably 5 years old. And one day he came and he said, Mom, I have a question for you. I said, okay, what is your question? It's very serious. I said, okay, tell me. You know, sometimes, and I have son, yeah, and I have daughters. They have 3 years difference. And I said, sometimes, Mom, when I do something and I'm thinking that I'm doing something like on my way, and finally I realize I'm doing what Maria asked for. It's and I said, okay. And what is your question?
Yeah.
Can you teach me how to do it that she will do the same what I want without telling her?
Oh, that's so good.
So and this is something I think man they understand early, someone understand later, someone never understands. The same goes to women, you know. And I don't believe that there are such a things man and woman. If it will be critical situation, we can jump in the same distance and hide if it's necessary, you know. When it comes to the business, of course, it depends of your ability of what is your power to push forward this business. But generally speaking, I think smart woman and smart man always cooperate and they deliver their best. You know, this is important. Starting with kids, finishing with business, you know, and having friends, all this. Yeah, and no, I never felt that because I'm woman and I have some limits or I have something which doesn't allow me move forward. Never. I don't have this in my life, and I hope I will never meet a man or anyone in my life who underestimate me as a person, me as a professional. This is something which we build ourselves.
Yeah. No, but I think it's a lot about your attitude. I think you don't even give a space to that. You know what I mean? Like, you like you said in the beginning, you're confident, and I think that's key for most of things in life, at least. And I also agree with the combination. I mean, men and women work differently, think differently, and so if you work together, you're gonna add, not you're gonna add things, skills. You're not, yeah, exactly. So you mentioned teams, and of course you're a CEO, you have companies. I want to know at least a little bit of your leadership. So how would you describe your leadership? How are you, leadership style? Like, how are you as a leader? And do you think it has evolved? Do you like you always being like this type of leader? Or you probably, of course, learn something, but I don't know. I'm gonna let you talk so I don't I don't tell the answer.
I can tell you when I used to work in law department, I had 15 young lawyers under me, you know. Wow. And one day I had a lawyer who was older than I, and that was challenging, even though I was very young. And I was 25 on that time. And the person was 30 something. And that was very much challenging because I had one expertise, he has another one. And I think from that moment, I realized that you have to be softer, and you have to understand that even you are right, it doesn't mean that another person doesn't have a voice to share his opinion. Because sometimes when you're a boss, you think that you have this power and it's up to you. But when you understand that each thoughts in your employee brain can make big probably difference, you have to teach yourself to listen these people, to understand what is their mind. And I think also another advantages for any entrepreneur is to listen with whom you work and who work for you, not just because you pay salary to them. Yeah. And when you make them passionate about what they build, I think that is a success. And yeah, I can be tough, of course, but I prefer to cooperate and collaborate and listen every words which is in the discussed in the room. And yeah, I prefer to be more listener than telling what to do. And as I said, it's important to have smart people around, and if they're smart, why not to listen what they tell you? Yeah, I think, yeah, this is my.
Yeah. No, I think, yeah, I agree. I think a good, at least the leaders that I look up to, that I admire, are usually the ones that listen, that don't think they are right all the time. You
Yeah.
can be, of course, you can be right a few times, but all the time, maybe not. So yeah, I totally agree with you, Lana. So we are heading to the end of the show, but it's not over yet because we have, let me just put it here. Let me just a second because I'm alone doing all the stuff and sometimes I get a bit lost. So here. Yeah, so Lana, now it's time for Would You Rather.
Okay, let's do.
So Would You Rather, fun segment. It's fun for me, so I love it. And it's moments that no hospitality leader escapes. It's pretty simple. I'm gonna tell you two situations or two things, and you're gonna have to pick up one, the one that you choose.
Okay.
You don't need to. It's fast. You cannot overthink. That's the
Okay.
only rule. You have to say fast. Like you don't have to think too much. And you can or may or not explain your answer. You don't
Okay.
need to if you don't want to, but if you want to say if you want, that's also fine. So, are you ready, Lana? Let's
Yes.
do this. Let me put it here too. So, Lana, would you rather run? I'm gonna put it here. Run a company fully powered by AI or one powered entirely by humans? You have to be
AI.
entirely. Okay, cool. Next one. Would you rather hire for potential or hire for proven experience?
Potential.
Good. Next one. Would you rather be known as a visionary or as the operator who makes things actually work?
That is tough one. As a visionary, probably I will share this role with my husband, with Alex.
Mhm.
And as a making things actually work, it would be me, because we have this kind of good collaboration.
Yeah.
And
You're a
when
good
I
duetto.
started,
Yeah.
yeah, he has great experience, and he has this intuition, which sometimes woman becomes too busy to give this freedom to work this intuition. So I would share this with my beloved one husband.
That's a good answer. And would you rather, Lana, build something people don't understand yet or improve something everyone already uses?
No, something new.
Something new. I thought you would say that. And last one, would you rather work from a beach in Bali or a cozy coffee in a European city? What kind of
Oh,
person are you?
oh, don't ask me this, because some part of my mind wants to be at the beach, doing nothing,
Yeah,
and
doing
another
nothing.
one wants to sit in a nice cafe in Venice or Florence and look to nice people going back and forth, and this picture change all time, and probably during other sunny day, just beach, just sea and nobody. So I want to be both places, and sometimes in the same day.
Yeah, I have to say, like, I'm horrible working in like I admire people that actually can work on a beach or even a coffee, because I have to, not doesn't need to be an office per se, but at home, like I have to be in a in a isolated environment,
No,
otherwise I get too distracted. Like I'm not good at it, like
no,
actually working while traveling. It's
no. Sometime I can put my, let's say, Spotify. I can
yeah,
read little bit. I can write. I can like
yeah,
switch in between. This is my like, flow. I like this.
yeah. I like that too. I like to music a lot. uh, Music usually boosts my creativity.
Yeah.
It's something that really helps me. And Lana, to wrap things up, I have to ask the question that gives this show its name. So, when you truly disconnect, what do you like to do off the clock? What is your perfect off the clock moment? What is it that you relax?
If I want to relax, I have to do something with my hand. Usually, I do some artwork, some collages, something like crazy. And I like to go outside and walk. I'm very much walk person who likes to be outside and meet people and see what is changing and how it's changing. Sometimes, and therefore we like to travel. Each time you go somewhere and learn something new, and you become like a kid. When you see something new, it's exciting. It's good. Yeah. So if it's bad weather, I will sit at home and do something with my hand. If it's a good
Yeah,
weather, it's to go outside.
nice. Well, that's a wrap from Off the Clock now, Lana. Thank you so much, so very much for taking the time to be here today.
It's a pleasure. And Paula, if you give me another 2 minutes, I
Yeah, yeah,
have,
sure.
yeah, I, I wanted to ask you actually. I decided that I will start my Substack channel.
Wow,
Yeah,
congrats.
and I
Yeah,
think I will have things to share, and it will be related little bit of business, little bit about kids, parents, because I love kids, and I like to share my experience as well and my family experience. And I was thinking, do you mind if I start my first probably outreach like email and my article about our experience today? If
oh,
our recording will be like a base of this.
yeah, of course. No, that's well, I am honored, and well, thank you so much. If you feel like it was worth it, please, yeah, like
Great.
share. I would be very very happy and again honored. So you always been so supportive. From I said it before, and if people don't know or didn't get it, like Lana was my first interview ever, like ever.
That is so
I
funny.
reached out. It was 2019. She found today the article that I wrote, because it was back then I was too shy to talk, so it was by email. I reached out to you probably on LinkedIn. I'm guessing because
Yeah,
it's where
yeah, it
we
was LinkedIn.
yeah,
Mhm.
and then I just sent them the questions, and then after that I think we actually did something else after
It
that
was, yeah,
one.
it was interview. It was short
Yeah,
one. So
yeah,
therefore, I said it will be kind of, connection, because sometimes we don't know how we change someone's life, and what we do.
yeah.
And today, actually, yesterday I was thinking, and yesterday I registered myself on Substack. I checked like pretty easy things, and actually they did a good job. And I thought, why not? Because it's kind of, reference like 6 years ago, interesting. Let's start. Why not? Let's see where it goes.
Yeah, and you're right. You never know who is watching, who is listening to you, who you impacting somehow. You probably didn't realize back then, but honestly, Lana, if you were the very first one and I'm very nervous. If you were rude to me, or if you were like ignore it because you didn't know me, who is this girl from Brazil? Maybe, no, really, maybe I could be like, okay, this is not for me, and I would
Oh,
maybe give
okay.
up. No, seriously, no, seriously,
Can you
I'm very
imagine?
thankful. No, yeah, I'm serious now. I'm very thankful for you were the first one, and the first ones, because I'm not saying just for saying, I was really really scared of doing this. It was, I always thank Rodrigo was the CEO, and he was the one pushing me doing this stuff, and because I would never ever imagine that I would be interviewing in English. Was anyway. So if you, so again, going back to what you said, if it were, things could be completely different if I haven't met you, and and nice people in hospitality. So yeah, you have a great impact in my career and in my life too, because you're inspiration. As a woman, you're very determined. I see you like you have passion for what you do, and I really really admire that. So yeah, you
Thank
have an
you.
impact on me.
Yeah, thank you very much. And I wanted to thanks one more time. I really enjoy how you became like a recognizable voice in hospitality, and I appreciate all time when I see people put effort, passion, and it's about you, and you did everything on your own. That is important. Yeah, and when you are self developing and improving and becoming better and better, I think it's the best what we can see. And I wish you good luck. I like your format, it's amazing, and you're very brave doing this online, like real time. This is very important, and yeah, I am happy.
Oh.
And thank you for having me one more time. I enjoy and this retro
Yeah.
experience all this.
Yeah, yeah. It's
Yeah.
almost a nostalgia now, like talking to you and going back to the beginning, and I'm touched really. I'm gonna listen to this every time I feel like things are not going right in my life. I'm gonna listen to it, and you hear your voice, because
Thank you. I
yeah,
appreciate that.
courage.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good luck. Yeah.
thank
And let's
you,
see how
and you
everything
too
goes.
with this Substack. I'm
Yeah.
sure it will be a success. Of course, it will probably promote on LinkedIn, stuff like that. So please
I
let
will
us
announce
know.
you.
Yeah, let us know so we can
Absolutely.
follow you there as well.
Thank you. Take care.
Yeah, thank
Yeah.
you so much. Thanks
Bye-bye.
everybody for watching the show. Again, if you can, please like this video, share it with someone you think you should be watching it. It would really help me reach more people. So that's it for today, everyone. See you next time. Bye bye.
Bye-bye. Take care.
Take care.